is that yes, a DevOps engineer. So that's something to start off. So the problem statement. So what problem does CICD solve? So CICD stands for continuous integration and continuous deployment. From the traditional software deployment pipelines that we go through, the challenges normally include the integration issues, manual testing and bottlenecks, deployment delays, inconsistent environments, lack of visibility, traceability, and risk releases. So, like integration issues is in traditional software development approaches. Integrating code changes made by multiple developers can be a very complex and error-prone task. So integrating changes from different branches or individuals often leads to conflicts, delays, and development process and causing inefficiencies. Another thing is that traditionally we used manual testing bottlenecks. We had manual testing, so we encountered bottlenecks when we tested. So relying on the manual testing is time-consuming and error-prone approach. Testers must manually execute test cases, making it difficult to ensure consistent testing coverage for every code. This increases the risk of introducing bugs and slow down the development process. It also causes development delays when releasing new features or updates, which can be cumbersome and time-consuming. So manual deployment processes require significant effort and are prone to human errors, resulting in delays and hindered time to market. Another thing is inconsistent environments, where inconsistent development, testing, and production environments can lead to unexpected issues when deploying software. Incompatibilities between environments can cause discrepancies and make it challenging to replicate and debug issues effectively. And lastly, risk releases. So releasing software changes without prior testing and validation increases the risk of introducing bugs and regressions. So CICD aims to address all these challenges by automating the processes, promoting collaboration, and ensuring consistent and efficient development, testing, and deployment practices. So that's basically the problem that CICD aims to solve. So I think most of you have encountered this diagram of like this infinity symbol, the 8 of DevOps, where we start with we don't start. We just continue planning, coding, building, testing, releasing, deployment, operations, and monitoring, and just continues like that. So it's how you integrate code on a shared repository is used to release software to production multiple times a day with the help of automation. So what does CI stand for and CD? So continuous integration. So this is the CI. So CI ensures that code changes made by developers are integrated into the shared code base. By automating the integration process, CI reduces conflicts, integration issues, fostering collaboration, and improving code quality. It enables developers to detect issues early on and promotes a more stable and reliable code base. So basically, that's what the continuous integration is, where you take where the contributions of every developer take it to a shared repository, and where it's integrated to the code base of everybody. So the source code version control systems, the crux of the CI process. The version control system was also supplemented with other checks like automated code, quality tests, syntax, style reviews, and more. So this is the CI of continuous integration. Then you have continuous delivery. So continuous delivery, or we have is the extension of continuous integration, since it automatically deploys all the code changes to a testing and production environment after the build stage. So it focuses on automating the deployment process from the integration phase to the deployment phase. So continuous delivery lies in between there. So this means that you, on top of the automated testing, you have the automated release process, and you can deploy your application anytime by clicking a button. In theory, the continuous delivery, you can decide to release daily, weekly, fortnightly, and whatever suits your business requirements. However, if you truly want to get the benefits of continuous delivery, you should deploy to our production as early as possible to make sure that you release small batches that are easy to troubleshoot in case of a problem. And continuous deployment. So continuous deployment goes one step further than continuous delivery. This is the practice where every change that passes all stages of your production pipeline is released to your customers. There's no human intervention, and only failed tests will prevent a new change to be deployed into production. So continuous deployment is an excellent way to accelerate the feedback loop with the customers and take the pressure off the team, as they easy to release day anymore. Developers can focus on building software, and as they see their work go live minutes after they finished working on it. So we have seen like continuous integration, where the developer calls and pushes it to the repository. Then it goes to the pipeline of continuous delivery, going to the automated test, and continuous deployment, where it's deployed to the production or customers. So tukifika hapo, Kiona ma'am, any questions?
Kuna swali umejiuliza hapo, junior DevOps.
So a junior DevOps asked, so I think you know this movie, Ant-Man. Do you guys just put the word continuous in front of everything? And the senior DevOps looks at him. So any questions? So let me continue. We're going to look at the CICD workflow. So the CICD workflow, where the developer writes the code, commits the changes to the version control, an automated build and test processes are triggered. If the build and test pass, the code is merged into a shared repository. Deployment pipelines are triggered to deploy the application to the various environments. So basically, traditional software development process, where developers write the code into a version control, GitHub, whatever you have for your code. A build integration team compiles the code and packages it with the instruction. An operations team pushes it to the test environment. A test team tests the code and everything. If there are any errors, it goes back to the developers. If they are not, it's being pushed to the public. So this is the traditional way of doing development in the past. So right now with CICD, you build the pipeline. The developer writes the code into the version control. It compiles automatically and packages it. It does unit testing and UI testing. If it passes all the tests that you did, it packages with instructions. The operations team pushes it to the scripts and the test environment. Another testing phase, then it pushes it to the public. So as you can see from the build pipeline, the continuous integration to the continuous the deployment. From the previous diagram, you can see like how many teams that we had before, like we had developers, we had the integration team, we had the operations team, we had the test team. But now we had like two teams, the developers and the operations team. The developer do their thing, code everything, it goes to the testing phase, the operations push the code and goes live and into the production phase. So it lessens the work that people are doing compared to the traditional processes that we had in the past. So the benefits of CICD. Faster feedback, as you can see, like from the previous diagram, developers receive immediate feedback on the code quality, reducing bugs, improving overall efficiency, rapid iterations, frequent code integration allows for quicker iterations and faster delivery of new features, higher quality, automated testing catches issues early, leading to higher quality software, and reduce risk. Automated deployments minimize the risk of human errors and ensure consistent deployment. Okay. So the various CICD tools that are available, we have for source code repositories, GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, the AWS code commit, etc. We have Jenkins, the open source automation server, Travis CI, GitLab, CICD, Circle CI, AWS code pipeline, GitHub Actions, Argo CD. So we have a lot of tools that are available to use, and most of them are open source and free for you. So basically, how you integrate it into your pipeline. So let's say you're planning your release, you're planning your software development cycle. So you use Jira and Confluence to plan. Then you have GitLab and GitHub to code. You have Gradle, Bazel, and Webpack to build. Testing, you have Jest, Playwright, and JE Unit. Release, you have Jenkins and BuildKite. Deployment, you have Docker and Argo CD, and Lambda, AWS Lambda. Operations, you have Kubernetes and Terraform. And monitoring, you have Datadog and Prometheus. So we have a lot of tools for like every part of the process that you can use. So best practices for successful CICD. You automate everything. You automate as many tasks as possible, from builds to test to deployment. So you reduce like the need for you to interact with manually the system. If you build the correct test for the system, for the pipeline, you don't have to you manually looking at what are the things that are being passed on. Use the version control. Properly manage your code base using version control systems like Git. Isolate environments. Keep the environments separate to avoid conflicts and ensure the producibility, and continuously monitor CICD pipeline, gather metrics for improvement. From the challenge that we are going to do, we are going to try to deploy a CICD pipeline using AWS. So we are going to use AWS tools. So for AWS, the CICD pipeline, we have AWS code commit. The code commit is the source control for AWS, and we have the code pipeline, the code build to build the fully managed continuous integration service that compiles the source code, run tests, and produces ready-to-deploy software packages. And we have code deploy, is a deployment service that automates application deployment of Amazon EC2 instances. So these are the AWS tools that manages the CICD pipeline. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to share the challenge where we are going to try to implement fully managed CICD pipeline. The AWS code pipeline pricing, it's free for the first for a newly created pipeline for the first 30 days, but for any active pipeline, it's cost $1 per day per month. So a summary: the right CICD tools leverage automation, the best practices to create streamlined integration and deployment pipelines with simplified processes, fewer errors, more reliable delivery. CICD tools can revolutionize the organization software development. With the right tools and processes, businesses can leverage the workflows to achieve better results. So help the business succeed by learning about working in CICD pipelines and different types that are required. Okay. And these are the references. You can go through them. I'm going to share the presentation. You can go through them and read about CICD. So, any questions? So, and remember, folks, 6 hours of debugging can save you 5 minutes of reading documentation. I know people hate reading documentation, so we are going to save you the 6 hours to debug it. Okay. So, I'm Lewis Sawe. You can reach me. That's my email. That's my website. That's my phone number. And connect with us with CloudForceSky through YouTube, LinkedIn. Okay. Patrick, over to you.
All right. Makofi kwa Sawe, makofi kwa Lewis for a job well done. That is very, very nice. Thank you very, very much, Lewis, for that teaching. That is very, very interesting. And I like the fact that you've used icebreakers in between. Sometimes delivering content slide by slide, bila kajok katikati, can be a bit a drag. So that's nice. What you're seeing on the screen right now is a sample challenge on CICD. So do you want to say anything about it, Lewis?
I've shared the link to you can download the challenge. So it's about deploying a sample CICD project. So the object of this challenge is to design and implement the CICD pipeline using services for continuous integration and continuous deployment. So you have to have a AWS account. You can use a Git repository or code commit, up to you. And basically the steps and how to implement the challenge.
Awesome. So that's a very good explanation. Just a minute. That's a very good explanation. So do we have any questions from the participants? Yes, I'm seeing one from Elsie. Elsie is asking, from the previous slide on CICD best practices, I didn't understand how CICD comes into monitoring. Can you repeat, please?
As a best practice, you have to monitor everything. As a DevOps engineer, everything that you manage is being monitored. From if a build fails, if a developer pushes code to the repository, let me don't know if you guys know these guys. Mnajua watu Special.
Yes.
So Special is they're a community, an open source community. So I'm going to use an example for this guy. So if, for example, you're a contributor to this community, they have very many projects, as you can see. If you want to join them, I think you can reach them through their socials and everything. So maybe you have contributed to an issue in the backend, and you have contributed to an issue in the backend, and you have you send a pull request to them, and it goes through the test. Maybe it fails, maybe it doesn't. So how do you know that it failed or doesn't? See, it has to communicate to somebody. So that's monitoring, how it looks at the code and then it notifies somebody, something is wrong, something is right. If in the pipeline something is wrong, it communicates that something is wrong or something has happened. That's how you integrate monitoring the whole situation. Elsie, what is the main difference between continuous delivery and continuous deployment? So basically, it's almost the same thing because people use it interchangeably. But for delivery, we assume that. Let me look at this diagram. You have between the continuous integration and continuous deployment, when the developers do their thing and they push their code to the version control, they compile. So the delivery process starts from when the developers push the code to the version control. So the delivery transforms and travels through the pipeline. So from the version control up to the pushing to the prod environment. So it's from all the processes in between, from continuous integration to the deployment phase. Okay.
Awesome. A thumbs up from Mercy. I believe that means that she has understood. Any other question? You guys are also free to unmute. If you have a question, you can unmute or you can raise up your hand. and ask. So Lewis, I guess silence means there's no questions. Means that watu wameelewa. And we thank you so much for this introductory lesson. Now, as Lewis has hinted, there is a challenge that we are doing as a community, which we will come back to it on a later date, and it will be presented. The solution to that challenge will be presented in one of our future webinars. So keep following, and the best thing that you can do to derive value from sessions such as this, if you came late, go to our YouTube channel. Just look for CloudForceSky. We are there. LinkedIn, the same name, CloudForceSky. You'll find us, and then via LinkedIn, we will be able to communicate any future events, any future webinars, and then you'll be able to join us, and we'll grow like that. Also, you are free to reach any of us or through any of our videos on YouTube. You'll find a link also to join the community. If you'd like to join us and become a member of our community, which is free, by the way, you are also free to join us there. And so we hope to see you guys again next week. We will be having another interesting topic to discuss. And so watch out in the course of the week. We will be sending out the flyers inviting you for the same. So as Clinton, unataka kulipa rent? There is no rent payment. We are good. So from us here at CloudForceSky, we thank you so very much for taking time to be with us. Until next time, see ya. Have a good evening.
See ya. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Karibu
Thank
sana.
you.
Karibu.
Thank you, Patrick.
Most welcome, Macrin.
Thanks and bye.
Bye-bye.